So it's the Mueller report. This is page 121. This is the part about the June 9, 2016 meeting in Trump Tower. Participants in the June 9, 2016 meeting began receiving inquiries from attorneys representing the Trump Organization starting in approximately June 2017. On approximately June 2nd, 2017, this would be 6 months into Trump's presidency, Goldstone spoke with Alan Garten, general counsel of the Trump Organization, about his participation in that June 9th meeting. The same day, Goldstone emailed Vetselnitskaya's name to Garten, identifying her as, quote, the woman who was the attorney who spoke at the meeting from Moscow. Later, in June 2017, Goldstone participated in a lengthier call with Garten and Alan Futerfas, outside counsel for the Trump Organization and subsequently personal counsel for Trump Jr. On June 27, 2017, Goldstone emailed Emin Agalarov with the subject Trump attorneys and stated that he was, quote, interviewed by attorneys about the June 9 meeting who were, quote, concerned because it links Don Jr. to officials from Russia, which he has always denied meeting. Goldstone stressed that, quote, he did say at the time that this was an awful idea and a terrible meeting. Emin Agalarov sent a screenshot of the message to Kavaladze. The June 9 meeting became public in July 2017. In a July 9, 2017 text message to Emin Agalarov, Goldstone wrote, quote, I made sure I kept you and your father out of this story, and, quote, if contacted, I can do a dance and keep you out of it, end quote. Goldstone added, quote, FBI now investigating, and I hope this favor was worth for your dad. It could blow up. On July 12, 2017, Emin Agalarov complained to Kavaladze that his father, Aras, never listens to him, and that their relationship with Mr. T has been thrown down the drain, presumably Mr. Trump. The next month, Goldstone commented to Emin Agalarov about the volume of publicity the June 9th meeting had generated, stating that his, quote, reputation was basically destroyed by this dumb meeting which your father insisted on, even though Ike and me told him it would be bad news and not to do it. Goldstone added, I am not able to respond out of courtesy to you and your father, so I'm painted as some mysterious link to Putin. After public reporting on the June 9th meeting began, representatives from the Trump Organization again reached out to participants. On July 10, 2017, Futerfas sent Goldstone an email with a proposed statement for Goldstone to issue, which read, quote, as the person who arranged the meeting, I can definitively state that the statements I have read by Donald Trump Jr. are 100% accurate. The meeting was a complete waste of time, and Don was never told Ms. Vetselnitskaya's name prior to the meeting. Ms. Vetselnitskaya mostly talked about the Magnitsky Act and Russian adoption laws, and the meeting lasted 20 to 30 minutes at most. There was never any follow-up, and nothing ever came of the meeting. End of quote. Redacted by Bill Barr, the statement drafted by Trump Organization representatives was redacted by Bill Barr. He proposed a different statement asserting that he had been asked, quote, by his client in Moscow, Emin Agalarov, to facilitate a meeting between a Russian attorney, Natalia Vetselnitskaya, and Donald Trump Jr. The lawyer had apparently stated that she had some information regarding funding to the DNC from Russia, which she believed Mr. Trump Jr. might find interesting. Goldstone never released either statement. And on the Russian end, there were also communications about what participants should say about the June 9 meeting. Specifically, the organization that hired Samocharnov, an anti-Magnitsky Act group controlled by Vetselnitskaya and the owner of Prevzon, offered to pay $90,000 of Samocharnov's legal fees. At Vetselnitskaya's request, the organization sent Samocharnov a transcript of Vetselnitskaya's press interview, and Samocharnov understood that the organization would pay his legal fees only if he made statements consistent with Vetselnitskaya's. Samocharnov declined, telling the office he did not want to perjure himself. Page 123. The individual who conveyed Vetselnitskaya's request to Samocharnov stated that he did not expressly condition payment on following Vetselnitskaya's answers, but in hindsight represented that by sending the transcript, Samocharnov could have interpreted the offer of assistance to be conditioned on his not contradicting Vetselnitskaya's account. Volume 2, Section 2 of this report discusses interactions between President Trump, Trump Jr., and others in June and July 2017 regarding the June 9 meeting. That would be in the second part of the report about obstruction of justice. Item 6, events at the Republican National Convention. Trump campaign officials met with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak during the week of the Republican National Convention. The evidence indicates that those interactions were brief and non-substantive. During platform committee meetings immediately before the convention, J.D. Gordon, a senior campaign advisor on policy and national security, diluted a proposed amendment to the Republican Party platform expressing support for providing lethal assistance to Ukraine in response to Russian aggression. Gordon requested that platform committee personnel revise the proposed amendment to state that only appropriate assistance be provided to Ukraine. The original sponsor of the lethal assistance amendment stated that Gordon told her, the sponsor, that he was on the phone with candidate Trump in connection with his request to dilute the language. Gordon denied making that statement to the sponsor, although he acknowledged it was possible. He mentioned having previously spoken to the candidate about the subject matter. The investigation did not establish that Gordon spoke to or was directed by the candidate to make the proposal. Gordon said that he sought the change because he believed the proposed language was inconsistent with Trump's position on Ukraine. It's the Mueller report.